This is part 3 of something that, to me, I found it on the internet, and it supports my interpretation that Quran 36:40-43 seems to be not only the sun and moon being our parents, but they, like Noah, travel in similar vessels like Noah, arks or boats. But in this version of the Hadith, it sounds like Tabari and even Abbas, they really believe that the sun and moon actually traveled in chariots, not arks, but chariots. And I'll continue reading this and see what you think. If you disagree, let me know, okay? But this is part 3. Okay. He continued, Allah created an ocean 3 farsakhs, which supports my belief, my interpretation of Quran, that there's an ocean of water above the earth. 3 farsakhs, that's 18 kilometers, removed from heaven. Waves contained. It stands in the air. There's an ocean of water in the air. By the command of Allah. No drop of it is spilled. All the oceans are motionless, but the ocean flows at the rate of the speed of an arrow. It is set free to move in the air evenly, as if it were a rope stretched out in the area between east and west. Between east and west. The sun, the moon, and the retrograde stars. Muhammad believed that the planets that we see were retrograde stars, and I'll read that to you pretty soon here. The sun and moon and retrograde stars run in its deep swell. He believed that it sounds like that the sun and moon and the stars were in the shell of the sphere that circled the earth. And the retrograde stars run in its deep swell. This is meant by Allah's word, quote, each swims in a sphere. The, quote, sphere, unquote, is the circulation of the chariot. So the chariot is actually that sphere that's moving around the earth. Is the circulation of the chariot in the deep swell of that ocean. By him, that's Allah, who holds the soul of Muhammad in his hand. If the sun were to emerge from the ocean, I guess come out from under it, it would burn everything on earth, including even rocks and stones. And if the moon were to emerge from it, it would afflict by its heat the inhabitants of the earth to such an extent that they would worship other gods other than they worship gods other than Allah. So they would, The exception would be those of Allah's friends whom He, Allah, would want to keep free from sin. Of course, in Islam, the worst sin is shirk, which is partnering with Allah. So Allah would, His friends, He would make it so they would become not Muslim. It supports that idea that it's Allah who gives you your faith and keeps you Muslim, which kind of throws the monkey wrench in the whole idea of free will. But I'll continue here. Ibn Abbas said that, quote, Ali bi Abi Talib said to the Messenger of Allah. By the way, it's all translated as God in this thing I found on the internet, but I put it in as Allah because, let's face it, they believe that God is Allah here. So, Abi Talib said to the Messenger of Allah, you are like my father and my mother. You have mentioned the course of the retrograde stars. Al-Kunas, by which Allah answers in the Quran together with the sun and moon and the rest. Now what are Al-Kunas? The Prophet replied, Ali, they are 5 stars: Jupiter, Al-Birjis, Saturn, Zual, Mercury, Utarid, Mars, Bahram, and Venus, Al-Zara. These 5 stars, not planets but stars, these 5 stars rise and run like the sun and the moon and race with them together. And we know that the stars, those planets, are actually orbiting the sun, but here they have it like the sun and the moon in an orbit around the Earth here. So, and of course astronomy says, no, that's not it at all, from what we can tell from our telescopes and everything. Okay, these stars run and rise and run like the sun and moon and race with them together. All of these stars are suspended from heaven as lamps are from mosques, and circulate together with heaven, praising and sanctifying Allah with prayer. The Prophet then said, if you wish to have this made clear, look to the circulation of the sphere alternately here and there. It's rotating over, it's circling over the earth. Here and there. It is the circulation of heaven and circulation of all the stars together with it, except those 5, those stars, which we now know are planets. He apparently didn't know about Uranus and Neptune and Pluto. Of course, Pluto is no longer seen as a planet. Their circulation today is what we see, and that is their prayer. Their circulation to the day of resurrection is as quick as the circulation of a mill, because of the dangers and tremors of the day of resurrection. This is meant by Allah's word, quote, on a day when the heavens sways to and fro and the mountains move, woe on that day to those who declare false the Prophet's divine message. Well, it must be that day, since more and more people are thinking, oh my gosh, that sounds stupid. He continued, when the sun rises, it rises upon its chariot from one. There you go, the sun is on a vehicle. On its chariot from one of those springs, coming out of a spring here, from one of those springs, accompanied by 360 angels with outspread wings. They draw it along the sphere. Yep, that thing that's circling the earth. Praising and sanctifying Allah with prayer according to the extent of the hours of nights and the hours of day. But, be it night or day. When Allah wishes, when Allah wishes to test the sun and the moon, showing His servants a sign, and thereby asking them to stop disobeying Him, that's Allah, and to start to obey, the sun tumbles from the chariot and falls into the deep of that ocean. It supports the idea that if Allah wanted, He could drown both sun and moon, you see? Which is what I see when I read Quran 36, 40 through 43. Allah can drown them, and no one can hear their cry or rescue them. So here it is. The sun tumbles from the chariot. Of course, in the Quran it sounds like an ark or a boat. From the chariot and falls into the deep of that ocean, which is the sphere. When Allah wants to increase the significance of the sign and frighten His servants severely, all of the people on the planet Earth, all of the sun falls, and nothing of it remains upon the chariot. That is a total eclipse of the sun. So nothing about the idea about the moon, blocking out the sun. It's the sun falling into the ocean, and then you can't see its light. That's the total eclipse of the sun. That's according to Islam here. This is a total eclipse of the sun when the day darkens and the stars come out. When Allah wants to make a partial sign, half or a third of 2/3 of it fall into the water, while the rest remains upon the chariot. This being a partial eclipse. This is not the way science shows today. It is a misfortune for the sun. Anyway, I'll continue this in part. The last part of this comment is going to be short here. So, bye.